Hello everyone. I am catching up. I have decided to take a page from Annika's book. I usually make all my catch-ups just back to back, but I'm going to do a couple videos in one because it makes it a lot easier than have to save and upload and edit and blah 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 blah. So we're going to do some YouTube Pagan Challenge videos. I left off last time with 41. I did make this video before, but I tried to catch them all the way up through 46, I think, and my video was like 45 minutes. So I was like, that's a little long. So we're not going to do that. I will link all the questions in the description box below. I'm going to jump right in so that I don't run too long. So this is YouTube Pagan Challenge for week 42. And the question was, do you work with ancestors / the deceased? And my answer is yes. Sorry, I'm sitting here and my shirt is rating up and it's making me cold. If you notice, I did shave my beard off. That's why I look weird. To me, I look really weird because I'm not used to having it gone. But I had a moment, and we had an employee party for work, and so I dressed up to go. So I had to shave. And that'll probably be the last time I do that for a while because I do not bounce back. We had a really good time though. So that's why I look different. Let's see, what else? So week 42, yes, I work with ancestors and the deceased. I rarely call ancestors by name. Both, I usually use a general term, spirit, in my verbiage, in my, when I'm speaking my incantation or my spell. The reason I do that is because I don't want to put anybody out either, you know what I mean? So, sometimes I'm vague and I call this, like, for spirits to, whatever, or, I might pull from their energy, but I don't really, like, I think I've talked about this before, I'm adopted, so I don't know my actual ancestors. I do know people that I considered my ancestry, so, like, they're all I've known all my entire life, you know what I mean? So, like, my father and stuff like that. But I don't want to call on him directly. We didn't always get along really well, but I know he loved me. So, his energy's there, and I can pull that to give me strength, but I kind of leave that up to them. You know what I mean? But I do work with them. I do honor them. I do have my altar right here. It's really hard to see because of the shelf wall. But I had also set up one on Samhain downstairs, which I did a little video on. And pictures on my page, Facebook page. But that's them. And then in the summertime, it gets moved over to here because the air conditioner has to go in that window. There's a window there. So, and it gets so hot up here. It's like a sauna. If you can see, it's all hardwood and it's like a sauna. So, anyway, I'm getting off topic. And that is, so yes, is my answer there. If you'd like to know more, hit me up. I'm going to go on to the next question, though. The next question for week 43 was, what does this time of year mean to you? And I'm assuming week 43, that's probably around Samhain. So I would say it is honoring my ancestors. It's, I know it's a harvest festival, but when you're in a city and you don't really live on a farm, the only thing I do notice is that vegetables can be drop in price and then they go back up. But that's about it. Like, I should say fruits and vegetables. Or, you can see where things fluctuate. But in living in the city, which is where I'd like to move to the middle of nowhere, I don't really, that's not part of my deal. I do acknowledge that it is a harvest festival and what have you, but I do not. I'm looking at the date. Sorry. It's mostly about my ancestors, and I honor them on around Samhain, and kind of like talk to them, and my rituals are centered around them and stuff like that. So that's what I do. What this time of the year means to me, or what that time of the year meant to me, because I'm doing this a little late. So yeah, that's what Samhain is about for me. So let's see. That was week 43. So now we're going to do week 44. I'm cruising right through these. 44. What has been most influential on my path? And I'd have to say YouTube. YouTube, because I'm more of a visual person, so I don't read blogs. I know everyone's really wants me to read their blog and stuff, and I just don't read them because while it's probably important, I mean, unless I'm researching a topic or an item or a day or anything like that, or if I'm researching a specific thing so that I'm better knowledgeable, I will read that. But it's not like I want to read someone's diary every day kind of thing. You know what I mean? I can watch it, and because if it's not good, I just next. I know that sounds horrible, but let's be honest. You know what I mean? It's, to me, visuals are much better. But getting to know everyone through this medium was awesome because when I first started researching, it wasn't even like, I think I talked about this before. The web pages were old, and I mean, we're talking like 2000 when I first started like researching online, because otherwise I would just research what I could get my hands on. And it wasn't like I went out of my way. It wasn't super part of my life back then. But this is like 15 years ago, so, you know what I mean? It was like, yeah. So, yeah, probably not that long. Probably like 12. But anyway, that's when I first started researching, and it was like old web pages, and I know I've talked about this before, and it was like when you would research, I would get like voodoo spells and done for you and blah blah blah, like ads. I never really got a lot of educational stuff. But then it seems like the internet switched, and when these mediums, social media and YouTube and everything came out, or got really, better, it's so much easier to find information now. So, I mean, that's what was most influential. I had some people that were influential, but not like anyone close to me, because I kind of did my own thing. Now, I'd have to say that, which is the next week, so I'm not going to answer that question, but I will just go into it. So this kind of goes into the next question, which is for week 45, and week 45 is what are your favorite pagan spiritual books? What are your favorite pagan/spiritual books? So, I can show you guys some, but it basically, I took, reference from people online, because a lot of people were talking about 101, you know what I mean? I mean, they weren't saying that, but I mean, talking about beginners and stuff like that when I was first starting researching Wicca. And so, I, of course, got Big Blue on DVD. And now I'm going to knock everything over because everything's kind of stacked in here. And then, of course, Wicca. And actually, this was Allison, a YouTuber, Flora de la Cour, and a number, and I can't remember her number right off the top of my head. But she had even said this. This is a complete, it's got witchcraft and Wicca. And this, even though I didn't, it was very helpful. It was like, it's like Wicked for Dummies, you know what I mean? So, it was all very basic, but then I went and I reread Wicca, and then I read Living Wicca, and I was like, I get this, totally, I get it. Then, that's when I started figuring out that a lot of the books are the same thing regurgitated. I know that sounds bad, but I do have Silver Ravenmoon's Solitary Witch. I don't have any of her other books because she was so controversial and blah 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 blah. I think everyone has something to give, and even if you don't like her, I like, and you might not necessarily agree with how she does everything. Some of her ideas are really cool. So I kind of, you know what I mean? I read it. I read through that. I use it like an encyclopedia, but I don't. It's not the end. None of my books are the end all and be all of anything. You know what I mean? I'm glad that people express themselves, but if there's anything that I've come to realize on this path, is that there's a lot of opinion, right? And I was trying to get away from somebody else telling me what to believe and what to do and how to practice or how to believe. So I take them with a grain of salt. I really do. I like seeing other people's points of view. If it works for me, how I think about it, how it would work in my head, then I use it. And a lot of it I don't. Because it's all about your intent, our intent, my intent. It's the mechanics behind it, while they might work for somebody, doesn't mean it's the end all and be all. You have to do it this way. It's just the way I think. And if you don't agree, then you don't agree. But I just don't. I'm not going to. Okay, I don't know how to say this. I didn't want to cut the one part out of my life. You know what I mean? Like, I knew from a very young age that what I was being taught or trained or told to believe was a farce. So I'm not going to just do. I think that's where people's thing is, because they're like, I know this is wrong, but since they're so conditioned to being told what to do, that they latch on to the next thing like that, and then they're not giving any leeway on that. So you have to be careful. To me, my own experiences are my magic. So I don't know. I'm just gonna get off my soapbox and continue on. I did get like this one's I haven't really read, but somebody recommended it. I'm really bad about that. Wikipedia. I have I'd have to pull out my Kindle and show you guys all this stuff. It's crazy. And I haven't read quite a few of them because I just don't like to read. People put out audiobooks. If you're an author and you're watching my video, do audiobooks. Audible with Amazon, I think, is awesome. I love it because I can stream it in my car over my sounds and then just listen to books on the way to work. And I do it all the time now. And it's so much better than having for me, a busy person and person that doesn't necessarily like to sit still and read. I don't find it easy or relaxing. I find it really frustrating at times. Not that it's hard for me to read, it's just hard for me to stay focused. You know what I mean? And I am not blaming anything. I don't think I'm ADHD. I think that's all crap, by the way. I just think people learn different ways. And so because we're a nation or a world of labels, we need something to label it, and so we can blame it on that. And I just don't blame it on anything. I just don't learn that way, or I don't like to do it, so why make myself? I'm an adult. So, let's see. That was work. that was 45. The next question is going to probably be a little lengthy, so I won't do it, excuse me, here. But if you have any questions or comments, I know I kind of went blazing through those, but I think it will help. And if you have any questions or comments, hit me up on social media or on the comment section. I've been trying to respond to them a lot better. But it's, you know what I mean? And for some reason, my Pages manager is not alerting me if anyone is messaging me on my webpage, so I'm assuming that nobody is. So, yeah. Remember to hit me up, and I'll talk to you guys soon. Thank you for watching. Blessed be.